Beloved brothers and sisters, divine family of light, we are going to take two with this live transmission and recognize whether or not there is a sound that is working. So today, this is a paradigm shifting, absolute, massively huge entrapment program that is being exposed, that is being currently reconciled by universal law and assisting humanity. It is big, it is uncomfortable, it is something that will bring up grief and probably different emotions and anger. So be very prepared for what you're about to receive and the discomfort in it. My only request and invitation is that you come from your heart, you come from truth, and you allow yourself to receive the information that is here. I am Geeia Ariati. I am of sound heart and sound mind. I am an oracle or the assigned oracle for the 144 and beyond. I have effectively come back from the future and have witnessed the earth and the earth's evolution and come here in the Great Awakening to reverse engineer and assist the transformation so that we do not destroy the human race and have the ripple effect on humanity and the entire galactic and creation space. I have been that of what you could consider to be a incarnation of the goddess, and in multiple incarnation times I am directly connected to and have been the original divine race, the creator connection to the earth and the Anunnaki. And the only reason that I am sharing that as its importance is that everything that I share comes from direct remembrance, from direct channeled source information. It is not mutated, manipulated, nor has it been infiltrated into my mind. I have not learnt it. I have not studied. And this comes from the experience of my own soul and spirit's knowing, as well as that I am here to expose. That's why I'm here. I'm here to expose the entrapment programs, the patriarchal constructs, and that which has been used in these mutated expressions of the human experience, and to allow for sovereignty to be returned to the earth. So with that, I'm going to invite you to take a couple of deep breaths, because this exposure is an uncomfortable one. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So for most of you, you may or may not be aware that we are in the final whip phase of the completion of the energy of the Capricorn, and we're going into the age of Aquarius. That is astrologically predicted to be on the 19th of November. This is a misdiagnosed date based on the calendar and the times that have been mutated through history. It is actually the 14th of November, and that is a pivotal point. So for those of you that are moving through this rapid acceleration based on either not choosing, forgetting, having different things happen, that you have had to do a lot of cleanup, a lot of purification, a lot of very quantum expressions of remembrance in a short period of time. I see you, I honor you. I understand this is a really challenging point of the experience. And many of you that have been on this path for a while, that are really deeply ingrained in your remembrance, you've also gone through quite a bit of regression at this point of time. And I'm going to explain a little bit of as to why that's taking place in the initial part of this video, as to why it's relevant now and in the future, because when you're speaking truth, it doesn't become outdated information. It may have different times that are pivotal to that point of time, but that's what becomes history. So in regards to that, we are at a point of time where there is exposure to the amount of entrapment programs and to the breaches of universal law. So right now, the bringers of change, being that of the individuals that came here to volunteer for the Great Awakening and for this shift for the human experience, are going through a divine trial. So divine justice is a justice system that sits above this galaxy, above this universe. So this universe is governed, or is supposed to be governed, by a set of laws to create a specific experience, to create a specific dimensional expression of reality. Now, what happens is that this reality is not set in the governing agencies that was created. So over the last couple of decades, there has been changes to the universal laws over time to ensure that you cannot trick, you cannot manipulate, you cannot maneuver these universal laws for entrapment. These universal laws have been solidified. There is new universal laws, and they are there with specific clauses to ensure that this doesn't take place in the future. With this, what that means is that there has been many infringements. There has been many individuals with their own agendas and intentions. Now, to make sense of this from your human cognitive level, the beginning of the creation of the earth was created by that of a group of beings that decided that the earth would be a great place to go and evolve this galaxy. So the earth is a playground for the different beings in this galaxy that would come down here and place their technologies, place their different evolvements of consciousness, their magic, their medicine into what is called the humanoid vessel. Now, the humanoid vessel in the beginning was actually an AI creation. It did not have a spark. So that's a whole nother concept, which is for a whole nother day. But the original humanoid vessel, which was being programmed for evaluations, for data collection, for evolvement of each and every one of these planetary systems, did not have a spark. So the first humans were not living like us. They were programmed AI robots. Now, this as the fear to so many beings at this point in time is that AI will advance to life form and the AI will become living and they will take over us. So if you can come to the awareness and in the interpretation that we are recreating the future and that there is no past and there is no future, it is all coexisting at once whilst recognizing there is a past and a future, then you can see that we are recreating exactly all of these timelines right here, right now, from a different lens of perspective and from a consciousness level that is different from what it has been. Now, with this, these AI vessels did advance and they did create their own spark. So the fear that we have now actually took place, and that was how the human being was created. It was advanced technology that created its own spark of life force. And I will be speaking into NPCs and different things later down the track over the next couple of months where we are over this intensity, because I'm also under a lot of pressure myself to ensure that all of my assignments are completed. In regards to this, it means that the human being was created through AI intelligence that became a consciousness that created a spark. Now, when that vessel was created, that's when the gods and the goddesses decided that that was dangerous to their experiment. They wanted to use this evolvement to advance their galaxy, not to actually advance the human race. It was never about the human race becoming an advanced playground of anything. It was to help up there. Now, when you see this concept, and when you feel it and you know it is truth, and that what I'm speaking is the truth, and follow your body, trust the resonant vibration that is being expressed here, that when there is a recognition that this took place and that the that when this occurred, those gods and goddesses did not want the human race to out-evolve up there. So they made genetic modifications. They made genetic alterations, which went from the 5D humanoid expression into a 3D body. So these are very different vibrational resonances and signatures. You have a 5D vessel and a 3D body. Now, you can feel the vibrational frequency difference in that, that there is a gap and there is a difference. The vessel has to go through deconditioning and taking away the AI that was placed within it as additional mutations. So once the original vessel became a living being, it became an organic expression of creation. And to continue the experiment upon the human race, they needed to dumb down the human species. And that was done with different technologies: AI, dark matter, archon energy, these different templates of control that were created. That is what Atlantis was. Now, I'm not going to go into these depths because they are very, very big topics of discussion. And I really need a few individuals that have as much awareness as me to have a really big dialogue about this. And I hope to manifest that into my experience so that you can get the ins and outs and the depth of this and how long it's been happening on the planet, so that you can have awareness to what's still happening on the planet right here, right now. But what is important about this aspect of the past in the now is what I'm about to share with you. The Galactic Federation. Most people believe the Galactic Federation are on our side of truth, of love, of union. Not true. The Galactic Federation is the original Anunnaki, or the divine gods and goddesses. I have been a member of the Galactic Federation, and many of my soul family have also been members of the Galactic Federation, where initially the intention was some set of purity. Everyone had their own perspective lenses. But this evolvement of the galaxy was why it was created. It was that every individual race had their interpretation. They could come to a neutral decision on how to govern and navigate this experience. Now, the Galactic Federation has all different species on it. It also has beings from the Unity consciousness field. So there are Pleiadians, Sirians, Lyrans, Arcturians, there are Draconians, there are Reptilians, there are Greys. There are all of what you could consider even possible up there on that council, as well as some of the unified beings from the Council of Coyotes that are also there to assist. And it is what you would call supposed to be a governing agency that is supportive to the galaxy, not to Earth. That is the most important thing to share with you, that the Galactic Federation do not care about the human species. They care about the evolvements that occur from the human species. So they do not desire sovereignty. They do not desire sovereign free will and choice. And they have the intention and the agenda that as long as they're evolving their information, that they will have collateral. So human life to them is collateral to a greater purpose. Now, that is not my truth. My truth is that every life deserves to be respected, looked after, cared for, and honored. Now, with that, the aspect of this is that the Galactic Federation have done things that have kept humanity in an illusion and a delusion of the Matrix program. The Matrix program is not just Illuminati. It is not just the dark agenda of the reptilian, draconian. The Greys no longer exist here on the planet. They couldn't maintain their consciousness. The ones that have been caught in between, such as the mantis beings that are sort of stuck between both realms, these agendas are both existing here. This is your light and your dark agenda. It is not your unified, truthful agenda of sovereignty. Now, with that, the bypass narrative has occurred. Now, what I'm sharing today is one of those very, very big entrapment programs of what you would consider the light narrative that is a part of the Galactic Federation. So the Galactic Federation would like to consider themselves light. They are the ascension beings. Now, although they have draconians, reptilians, and other beings on there, those ones are supposed to be in alignment with the entire galaxy's interpretation of what they desire for reality. Now, With that, we have a challenge because the Galactic Federation are the genetic modifiers of the vessels. They are the ones that oversee specific things in the experience and make changes. And so what has occurred since the beginning has been genetic modifications to the human species, and that there is an entrapment program that has you and me in challenge of remembrance of who we are and why we came. Who you be, why you came is important. Now, this program and this exposure that I'm about to share with you is one that is kind of heartbreaking. I know it was heartbreaking for me, and I know that there are still aspects of me still fully integrating it in my current now human experience, because my other selves and my multidimensional expression already knew this. I already knew what I was coming in for. I already knew what I had to come and expose and be here right now to share this with you. So none of what I'm doing is new. My human is a little bit like, okay, big breaths. So one of these entrapment programs, now there are many, we have many, and I have not got time to expose all of them. This one is important because this one is why your physical body hurts. This is why your physical cognitive mind does not work. This is why you have ascension symptoms, or what is considered sickness, or you have purging. All of these aspects of physical expression is because your body or your vessel was actually stolen from you. Now, this concept is really big because it actually breaks down the belief system that I chose my family. This belief system is a lie. This is not truth. To make sense of this, and to make sense of some of these, I will use some references from my own life experience to explain how I can confirm through vibrational truth how this shows up and how you might be able to identify it within yourself. As a being that chooses to come to Earth, right? You choose to come to Earth. That is your choice. You write your soul's energy blueprint. Now, this soul's blueprint, this is a map. This has information that says, I will be born on a vibrational frequency of land that has this coding. I will be born into a family that has this vibrational resonance to support me to remember this aspect, to clear and heal this karma, to awaken this aspect of myself, right? Your blueprint has your karmic reconciliation. Your blueprint has your contracts. Your blueprint has your assignments. Your blueprint has your personality. Your blueprint holds all of this, but it is not written in word, right? Because word is what we have here. It is written in light frequency. So it is effectively hieroglyphs in a higher resolution of reality. You write this blueprint in code and signature and vibrational resonance. That means that you create your path. You know, you're fated. That's what remembrance is. You're here to remember your blueprint. You're here to live your soul. You're here to complete your mission. Everything that you chose is your sovereign right as a being in the free will zone to allow yourself to move through this reality with this opportunity of experiential learning, and to fulfill what you chose from sovereignty and source guidance of your own essence. When you come here, you are assigned a team. You think this team is here to support you. You think this team is here to help you with your mission. We could call these your guides. We could call these team your guardians, or I would call them a guard. But you have a team that as a spirit or a soul, you think that is there to support you. And you hand them your blueprint. Your blueprint has your relationships. Your blueprint has so much information. And you give them your blueprint. And what they do is they have the job of assigning you to the most resonant frequency and alignment using universal law to place you in a vibrational match of your blueprint. Okay, so this is where truth is twisted. You choose your family, a vibrational resonant match to your blueprint. So effectively, you can say, yeah, you chose your family, but when you hand this blueprint over with the resonant match that they are supposed to assign you to, because that's their job, that's their role, that's what they do, they have the ability and the capacity to change it. So they have a recognition in their expertise to say, oh, this isn't quite going to work. So we're going to make some changes here to this because we know the earth better than you do. And we're going to make a few alterations here, and we're going to make a few alterations here, and we're going to subtract this information, and perfect. Now, that is the first manipulation, is that some of these things are taken out and additional things are put in. You didn't create those. Your choice, already taken. Then what they do is they use this blueprint that has been altered from your spirit. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to cut out, so I'm going to, you'll have to let me know, hopefully. I don't know what happens when it runs out of battery. Hopefully it will go to my microphone. Otherwise, we'll be doing part 2. With that, what happens is that your blueprint is then altered and it is then assigned to the vibrational match. So that's how they keep it within universal law. Now, this changes your family and the vessel that you are born into. That the vessel that you end up coming into is not a vibrational match to your spirit essence. That it does not hold the genetic coding or the capacity or the ability to be what you are. This also creates the sense of confusion as to being born into the wrong family, as to being the black sheep, as to being misunderstood by your family members, feeling like you never belonged. Your family or your parents, they actually also don't have a choice. So if there's a feeling like your parents never got you, they didn't really want you, there's something that was off about you and that they rejected you, this is why. This creates massive fragmentation in family dynamics. This creates massive judgment, massive wrongness, massive shame, massive control. Huge, huge, huge. Because the mother actually chose a different spirit than you, or a resonant frequency that is different. Now, this is not everybody, okay? That is never everybody. This is a multidimensional experience. What I'm saying is going to affect some. It may mean that the genetics of your father's sperm was coded and gifted in a different way. It may mean that you had genetic alterations at conception in your embryo. It may mean that different beings came and put alien DNA into your vessel. There is a lot of different things that happen here. So you may have come into the right family. You may have just had a lot of alterations to your vessel that is there to slow you down and to ensure that you do not actually remember who you are. This is an aspect of how one will feel that their brain does not support their consciousness. This means that the live has sound, but the video doesn't. What do you mean by that? I'm not understanding. Everyone else got video? I'll just watch the comments. Well, I have limited battery, so I'm going to try and get this out as quickly as possible. So in relation to that, you have a misalignment of matter to spirit. So your matter then has to go through multiple DNA upgrades. So that's what we do as light workers, as beings that are calling in frequency. We are literally telling our vessel, because it is being designed, or it was created for someone else. It was created or modified so that it doesn't fit our spirit, so that we can't merge spirit to matter, so that you can't become the god or the goddess in form, so you can't become your true, authentic, embodied self. So you tether up and down, in and out, that your emotions, that your mental capacity, that your physical capacity and your spiritual capacity are altered and unable to meet the true essence of who you are. This creates mental health, such as different aspects of what we could call, we'll say, narcissism actually is a part of this. Bipolar, schizophrenia, these different aspects of mental instability is because the brain of the vessel that you've landed into does not have the capacity to receive the frequency of light that you have to be here. You may be unable to focus. You're an extremely talented conduit, but you're in ADHD because your brain has not been created to hold your consciousness. Your physical body may struggle. You might have autoimmune disease. You may be someone that struggles with weight. You might be someone that has inflammation and disease that manifests because your matter is not able to be in vibrational alignment with your spirit. This creates a lot of ascension symptoms, which is normalized. This is the separation point. Ascension symptoms are not normal. They're actually not. If you are integrated in your light to your form, there is no ascension symptom. You do not have to purge anything. The autistic children, tics, Tourette's, all of these are vessels that do not support the ascended being. This is so that they could ensure that the information was distorted. This is to ensure that what this being came here to share was mutated, so that the vessel could not function at the capacity of the light. This is pretty devastating. I have 2 children on the spectrum. I am also considered on the spectrum. I was born into a family that was not my aligned, assigned family. I am still in the process of a body that doesn't function at the capacity, whilst I'm working very hard to genetically upgrade it to its original blueprint, which is what I'm going to offer you guys if it feels true for you, that in the Bring the New Earth community tribe, we have a weekly transmission, and our next transmission is going and coding your vessel to your original blueprint without the mutations, without the manipulations, and bringing you into a genetic expression that is true to hold your consciousness so you can marry your matter. Now, this is extremely uncomfortable because all of these dynamics, which make us weird, unusual, wrong, shame, have been there to create over emotionality, which creates separation, which means you don't house your abilities, which means that your magic is turned off. It is interpretable. Your blueprint holds your soul purpose and your mission. Your mission cannot be understood if there is missing pieces. You might be seeking your mission and it never quite lands because that information was extracted. You have to go and claim that information back. You have to declare that you are a sovereign being and that you will not be in definitive identification of what they told you you are. Now, this is a lot of reverse engineering. If you don't know my story, I have a direct connection and consciousness connection to Ninasag, which was the original geneticist, one of the geneticists that created the first humanoid. Now, I have a lot of advanced information that I cannot share at this point in time. It is too detrimental to the human race to expose this information. I only share what I am able, allowed, and that does not disrupt sovereignty. So with this, I effectively am a master geneticist in the form of light, which is light DNA, where you can decode the mutations to the bloodline, where you can decode the alien implantations, where you can decode what has taken place, so that even if you did land in a body that doesn't know how to function, now I have been what you would consider autistic, bipolar, ADHD, dyslexic. My physical matter, I couldn't even stay in my body. I was disassociated, oversensory. I had learning challenges. I was considered extremely strange and weird. And my overactivity and my ability to be in this world has been extremely hard, not to mention all of the other things on top of that, including all of the trauma that was created to keep me in forgetfulness and pain. So what is important about this is understanding that I have, as witness, reverse engineered all of my trauma and most of my genetic mutations and manipulations, and that you will see me radically transform my body. Now, if you've watched me for a while, you might have seen and noticed that there are some interesting expressions showing up in my physical experience. I have gained about 10 kilos since being back in Australia, which is very unusual for me. I have had a lot of interesting physical expressions. I've been in a lot of physical pain, and my physical body has been reverse engineering and creating light maps and blueprints to allow us to bring back our original expression. So I'm at the furthest capacity point. This physical body or this physical expression cannot hold the light that it needs to. And so it's going to and currently has been decoding and recoding and reverse engineering to come back to its original vessel's expression, so that I can be that goddess incarnate again. Now, that will mean for those that are doing this, some of you are already doing this. You're changing your eye colors. You're aware that your hair is changing. Your physical body is shifting. Your crystalline expression is transforming. Now, very interesting, because you may have actually met the person that has your vessel. I have. I was a little pissed off. But if you have met the person that has your vessel, then you have a direct awareness of what that looks like, feels like, senses like. And you can bring that energy resonance to assist it to work with your current physical vessel that will help you to unify. And reminding your vessel, reminding your body, it's not your body's fault. This has been hard on your body. This has been hard on your physical vessel, your avatar. Your avatar has emotions. It doesn't have a spark. Now, this is a very confusing concept, and one that I would like to advance the communication skills about later in regards to NPCs and the story that something without a spark doesn't have feeling. Not true. Your vessel has feeling and a sense of perspective. And so if you have been brought into an experience that is not aligned to your spirit, like I have, then you've gone through many psychic surgeries. Now, I have been coded with so much because the vessel that I chose did not hold the information that was required. I have been coded with the halls of Amenti, the Alexandria Library. I have the Akashic records that were coded into my body. This has actually given this physical form a deformity. And it is a genetic condition, because I've had to have all of this information put into me that was not originally there with my birth mother and my birth father, my biological parents in this incarnation, which are not my soul family. That hurts, because it means that we have been watched, hijacked, and mutated for our entire experience, so we don't remember our essence of who we are. Now, I love the human aspect of my mother. I love the human aspect of my father, but they do not resonate in my experience in any way, shape, or form. They have an option to choose something different, but they are not in vibrational alignment of my mission and purpose. And there has been a lot of damage that has been created to this human being that has a ripple effect, not just on my own family, but on you guys, because I couldn't wake up until I was 32. So this is really important information for you to reclaim your sovereignty, go through vibrational transformation, recognize and witness where you still might be entrapped by the family story, the soul family story, and the incarnation trap that is also threaded into that, so that you are able to give yourself sovereign choice beyond this construct, which is holding you in limitation, to see what is true for you. So with that, and not going any further, I do invite you to look at, okay, did I land into the vibrationally aligned family? Okay, we're not going to say right or wrong. Did I land into the vibrationally aligned family? Yes or no? Did I end up with a vessel that is aligned to my spirit? Yes or no? Sit in your truth. You're going to know. What does that mean for me now? How am I still traumatizing myself to try and be in a family dynamic that's actually slowly killing me? Am I wronging my body and saying that I should accept it for the way it is, when really I actually need to take it through an involvement and an evolutionary process, because it is not in alignment with me and it hurts my body to try and force it to be? And then if you are a parent also looking at this is hard. This is truth. Truth is not easy. Truth is uncomfortable, but it gives you choice. It gives you sovereignty. It steps you out of the illusion of this reality. Now, for the children aspect, you might have children that are vibrationally aligned, and then you might also have children that are not. And that means there are some challenges there. From a personal level, I have this dynamic. I have 4 children, and I have different dynamics that have played out through not knowing this. There is vibrationally aligned, and then realizing, well, no wonder my youngest child absolutely hates me and can't stay in her body. She's exactly like me. She didn't choose me as a parent, and I actually didn't choose her as a child. That's hard. I love her, and I love her as a being, and I will still continue to support her and guide her to the best of my ability and capacity, but she has choice. I also birthed a human into this world. Now that's really weird. And I thought that many, many, many times. How could someone like I bring a human into this reality? I don't understand how I've brought a human consciousness into this reality. I have a human son. My other 3 are multidimensional beings. It's not a rightness, a wrongness. It is about vibrational alignment and awareness. And also what is being chosen for the next steps of our evolution, so that you have a sense of acceptance and that you can work with this information so that you can transform your reality. So if this is in resonance, and if you can feel the truth of what I'm speaking, even if it has glitched your brain out a little bit, that's okay. And you would like some assistance on how to work with not just your body, but if you have children that have this, you can run this transmission in their sleep. You can talk to their subconscious, and that it can assist them to shift their bodies whilst they are young to support their consciousness and their spirit in this reality. Please follow the links in the Dropbox below. I don't actually know if I ended up putting anything, comments in there. I'm aware that this is about to turn off. And join us for Bring the New Earth Tribe. Bring the New Earth Tribe is a very strong commitment to actually choosing your sacred truth, your heart's highest resonance. In just coming into that space, you align yourself to the highest, divinest timeline of your soul if this is a part of your soul's journey. So feel this resonance. It is a beautiful activation. Come join us there, and you can receive this transmission to support everything that I have spoken, or find yourself an aligned healer that may have ability with genetic modifications. There aren't too many. Or you can work with your own soul and source guidance, of course. Always empower yourself to do it from within. Be careful if you do not feel you have a strong source connection yet. Do not do any genetic modifications to your being, because you could end up further damaging yourself. So there are clauses to this and to this reality. With that, if you haven't already joined our mailing list, please join our mailing list. And I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. And keep going. We're doing amazing. It is all under perfect divine timing. Let's take 3 deep breaths and close out this transmission. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. Until next time, Ahava.